This is what I'm talking about. Every time I see your smile, it makes me shout. Let's go! Let's go! Nothing's gonna stop us today. Get on the bus or get out the way. We're cruising with the radio on. So turn it up to 10. Here comes our favorite song. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn, good whatever, wherever you are. This is IoT Tuesday. I'm yours truly, Samuel Adrani, bringing you another episode of the one and only IoT show that demystify IoT to the barest minimum. Here we hack, we have fun, we learn, we break things, we make things. This is another episode. Last week, we did part 4 of the Azure SDK for embedded Arduino. Today, we're going to continue with that part, trying to send some telemetry into IoT Hub. Let's see how that goes. Well, if this seems like something that is of interest to you, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow it so we can learn new more things. Before we get into today's session, as usual, let's go take a montage. When we're back, we will have some fun. Yes, welcome to the show that demystifies AI and IoT. Well, in today's episode, which I just shared, we'll be continuing from where we left off last week, which was sending telemetry data from an ESP32 board to Azure IoT Hub using the Azure SDK, Azure SDK C for embedded Arduino. All right. Well, let me take you to the bench to just show you the setup we have. Well, we just have a simple ESP32 here connected to a DHT11 temperature and humidity sensor. And we will try to send this data into IoT Hub. So some people reach out and they wanted to know. Now, last week I expressed that there is a dev kit there is a dev kit, which is this. All right. Now, this is the official ESP32 Azure IoT kit. This one right here. All right. This one has onboard sensors, magnetometers, accelerometers. It has an OLED touch light sensor. It has a lot of sensors inbuilt. This is the official dev kit. Right. Now, if you have this dev kit, and I'm going to share some resources before we continue. If you have this dev kit, it's just a matter of, setting this up, and pretty much it works because this is all embedded. All right. But the question is, if I don't have access to this is an ESP32 based board, right? If I don't have access to this and all I have access to is just a basic ESP32 board and I have a bunch of sensors, all right, as an input. So this one is a DHT11 sensor. Now, I brought a couple of other sensors here. So we have this ultrasonic sensor, the HC SR04, this one, usually for distance, and you can use it to measure distance or do a lot of, nifty things. Now, what if, as we're speaking, this board doesn't have this, all right? But you want to create an application that leverages, some ultrasonic sensing, all right? Or we have this capacitive soil moisture sensor. All right, this one. You're trying to build something like a smart garden or some agri-tech solution. Now, this dev kit doesn't have it. All right. You would have to connect this to this ESP32 and then figure it out. So that is the main reason why I'm throwing away. When I say throw away, it's just figuratively. That is why I didn't want to go with this dev kit, which Azure provided to say, hey, there's a dev kit, you can use to try that. Now, if I wanted to send this information, how do I have access to that? That's why we're going the hard way. So someone was like, well, somehow you can just pretty much technically just go with the the sample code and everything is going to work. But in practical use cases, people might not have this. They would have this and a bunch of sensors they want to connect. All right, so we're going to take it step by step. So in the previous episodes, we've seen how to set up this ESP32 in Arduino and all that. And subsequently, we've seen also how to separately connect this DHT11 to ESP32 to read the data, all right? And also in previous episodes, we've been able to set up our ESP32 to communicate with an IoT hub. We've already created an IoT hub that is ready to read the data. So today, what we are going to do is first of all connect this. And if you have an ESP32 board, the next thing will probably be, okay, how then do you connect this sensor also to it? And then later, once we learn how to send all the data to Azure IoT Hub, there are a lot of things we can do. And I was actually going to end the stream, sorry, not the stream, end the series for the ESP32 and Azure. I was going to end that series once we send the data or telemetry to Azure IoT Hub. But, you know, I kept thinking it wouldn't be complete. So what we want to do is that if we manage to send the telemetry to Azure IoT today, in today's episode, in next week's episode, what we would do would be, okay, how then do we send, so today's going to be device to cloud messages, right? So next week we'll see, okay, how then do we send cloud to device messages? How do we send commands and messages from IoT Hub to an ESP32 baseboard? And to do that, we might require something. Let's go back to the bench. Let me share this with you. Something like a relay, all right? Or it could be as simple as this. It could be as simple as turning an LED on or off, but practically would want to say, okay, I want to control this relay. And I'm specifically using these, this, you know, input and output sensors because I have at the back of my mind to build a home small garden. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. I kept putting it off. I have everything I need to build it, but I've never started to do it. And this would be a cool project to do and incorporate into Azure IoT and allow it to even send visualization, send notifications, be able to read the weather patterns and give me some info, and as well to automatically water the plant when the moisture is low. So something like this would be a relay to control either a pump. If I don't want to use something as big as this, I can use a MOSFET. I have a lot of them lying in there. I think last week I showed how I use a MOSFET to represent a relay, and I use that to control 2 pumps. So if I feel this is big, I can still use a MOSFET and do a very small circuit that will turn that's going to turn a pump on to water the garden. So the long-term goal, which I stated earlier on the beginning of this year, was that we're going to build up incrementally to a project. So at the end of this little pieces of series, the end goal will be we're reading temperature, humidity. We are reading soil moisture to see does our smart garden need some watering. If it does, based on the changes, a command will be either sent from IoT Hub to water the garden. Or it could be as simple as, or as complicated as when it checks and realizes that, the moisture in the soil is low, it could either use the AI-based algorithm to water it, or probably notify you, and for you to say, you know what, water it a bit. Okay, so that's kind of like the end goal. So today, we're going to take it bit by bit. So the focus today is on the DHT11 sensor. Now, before we get started, what is this? There's some resources. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'll have to shut this down. I still had my Outlook running because I'm just closing from work and doing this. So yeah, bear with me. All right. So as you know, I always want to share some resources that we can leverage. All right. No. Wow. I had a couple of things open. So when I was looking to it, I was like, yeah, no wonder my CPU usage is going a bit high. All right. So that's fine. So let's do this. Let's close all these things and bring up a browser. Actually, I'm going to open Outlook Outlook here and keep it on the side, and then I'll bring in the browser so I share a few content. Well, it doesn't matter. We can just use one. So let me bring this here and focus here. All right. So again, as usual, if you have any questions, you can always, ask, and I'll try to answer that. And if you're on the show, just say hi, wherever you're watching from, and I'll just acknowledge you. So I'm going to drop this here. Let's see. Episode 60. Let's do this. So this resource here, this is something I found that has really awesome content when it comes to ESP32, right? I just shared it in the chat. I also added to the show notes, or added to the description of the show. The links will be there for you to go check out. So it's a resource full for a lot of ESP based projects. So if you're looking for some kind of inspiration, how to especially when it comes to IoT and stuff like that, as you can see, it has a whole lot. Like they have a whole ESP32 project tutorials. You can see thermocoupler, light sensor, Wi-Fi manager, even some Firebase data login times. You have a lot of interesting things you can do if you want to do ESP32 based stepper motors, website, a lot of awesome things. As you can see, connecting an HC, all the things you want you want to do with ESP32. You can try this out. All right, you can check the site out. It has a lot of content you can use. I just shared it in the chat. Maybe let me just share it again for the sake of probably those that are just joining. Yeah, welcome if you're just joining us. So yeah, go check out this resource. It has almost everything ESP32. Okay, this is more focused on ESP32. We are pretty much just having fun with it. So let's go ahead and get our Azure portal ready. But before then, I'm going to let's bring up our not this one yet, the other one. Yes, so just a recap. Let's bring this here. This was the very last just a sec. Okay, yeah, there you go. So this was the very last one of the last things we did, and this is basically setting up the DHT11 temperature humidity sensor, as you can see on the bench. And this just outputs the humidity temperature in degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit. So this is deployed. No, it's not deployed. So let's go ahead and let me deploy this, and we'll come back and deploy the next thing. So the way this works is let me use a split screen. One side is going to be black, but bear with me. So you should see some, if you look at the top left, you should see, yeah, so it's reading. And for this one, I need to press the reset button for it to actually pick. Yeah, and there you go. It's deploying. If you look at the top left, it's deploying. So the deployment is done. Now, so pretty much this is just reading the temperature, and I'll just show you what's happening in here. So if we go ahead and let me bring you to the main screen. I think I should do one with the inset of I should do another screen with the inset of. So if I go to tools and open the serial monitor, there you go. So you realize that it's saying humidity is 14%, temperature in degrees Celsius is 27, and then in Fahrenheit is 80.6 Fahrenheit. All right. Now, to just simulate, to let you know that I can effect this. Let's see if I can. Can we make? Yeah, we can make this bigger. Awesome. Well, it's pretty much making everything big, but that's fine. So if you can see me, I'm just putting the DHT sensor in my palm, just to make it a bit warmer. So we move from 27 to 28 to even make it warm. I'm going to blow into it. All right. So this is it. So now I see that humidity has moved from 73. Temperature has moved to 32. Let's 33. Let's do more. So basically, you can see that as the temperature changes, I'm able to read it, send it through the ESP32, and I'm showing it in the serial monitor. All right. Now, the goal will be now that we know how to read the data, the goal will be to take this data, all right, and now send it into Azure IoT Hub. So we can send the data, we can decide to do anything we want. Once the data gets into it, anything we want to do, pretty much, it's on us. So I'm going to stop this and move this aside somewhere that we'll come back to this. I mean, it's just for reference for now. Okay. So let's keep this here. And then I'm going to bring this. Now, don't worry, don't be scared. Let me share the resource for this. So this is the official, and I'm also going to let's see, I'm also going to add this. All right, I'm going to add this to the description or the show notes. Let me share this here. Maybe let's go and let's show this on the screen quickly. So this is the official resource that is provided by the Microsoft Azure IoT team for the SDK. All right. So if you open it, so most of the code you're seeing there is pretty much coming from here, right? It's coming from the samples here. So they have this whole Git repository that has the code samples and how to use them. So we are using, we're using the code samples here. There you go. So you can see the different code samples, right? How to configure, access, analyze log information, how to port the Azure SDK to another platform. So the general how-tos here, and technically, yeah. If you want to, everything is here. I mean, just simply put, everything is here. Where is that? There was one that, let's see. Yep. Where is that? Yep. So yeah. So that resource, the resource is also available for you to use. But pretty much that's just it. So yeah, we can go ahead. So everything you need is here. That's where the base of the code is coming from. Super proud of you always. Oh, someone is blushing on the show. Oh. So that's why thank you, super fan, my producer. Everything. Thanks. Appreciate the support always. So yeah, pretty much that code is coming from here. That's why we're keeping the code. So don't be scared when you see the code. It's always there for you to use. These are samples for you to use it in IoT Central. So this is what I was saying. If we're using the dev kit, which I showed here, this one, you can easily just plug and play, because this is also certified plug and play, and then use IoT Central to create stuff, and then you move. But we are not going that part, because there might be certain use cases we want to use that this doesn't have the sensors for. So let's go the hard way, and then we'll learn from that. Okay, so that's where the logic. So this is the logic. So it's a bunch of files. It has a configuration file, which I can't share because it has my Wi-Fi password and stuff, and I can't share that. But it's a series of files for logging, for converting SAS tokens to certificates and all that. So they've done the heavy lifting for you. So you pretty much include all this in your project, and then you are going to use this main file. Now, if you want to know how to set this up, we've done it in previous episodes. So I'll put the link somewhere, up here on the side somewhere. The link is going to be there. All right. So once that is set up, a lot of these things are basically just formalities, like, well, not formalities, but they've set it up in such a way that you wouldn't need to stress so much about them. So the key part is you can add your own functions, right? And then you can implement them. Right now, they have the two functions we're going to be concentrating on is this one here. Let me zoom in here. Let me make it a bit bigger. Yeah, there you go. So this one. Yeah, so this particular one, get telemetry payload. All right. So this is what it creates a payload, right? So as you can see, payload is now payload is the variable has been defined for payload. Okay, you're going to pass that payload. So get telemetry payload is just going to take a payload, right? And then it is going to write back to that payload which you send. It's just going to do some appends to it. So at this point, this get telemetry payload, this is what is getting the telemetry that is being sent, all right? And then outputs that payload to be sent. And then this here, send telemetry. This send telemetry here is what's sending it. So you see that it does logger.info, sending telemetry, and then the topic to which that info is sent, and it pretty much just sends it, all right? And once it sends it, if there's no error, it just tells us it's been sent. If there's an error, it also returns that error. Now there are some event handlers. Let's go up here. As you can see, yeah, so there are some MQTT event handlers, all right? So anytime there's the how do you call it, it's connected, all right? You get MQTT event connected anytime there's a subscription, disconnection, unsubscribe, publish data, pretty much it tells you all, like, it just logs it, shows it on the logger on the serial monitor, all right? But we're not so much worried about that. What we want to concern ourselves with is get telemetry, all right? Where the telemetry is coming from. And a disclaimer, I am in no way trying to teach you how to program. No. I'm in no way trying to teach you how to organize your code structure. No. I'm just showing you how to send the data, all right? The base of the work is being done by the SDK. Subsequently, what we need to do is be able to get our data and pass it in, okay? So this is everything in the payload. It converts it telemetry. I'm just trying to see where we can add a few more things to it. And then here, as you can see, send telemetry, like I mentioned, creates and it gets that telemetry, all right? And then logs for sending it, and then boops, it sends it. So we're going to take it baby steps. We're going to now bring in the piece of code that allows us to read the DHT sensor and see if we can even inject it into this already existing, piece of template or boilerplate that the Microsoft team has built for us. So we'll start by injecting the code bit by bit. And then once we are able to inject it, we'll now use the code to send it and then view it in Azure IoT Hub. Now, to view your stuff in Azure IoT Hub, it will be good for you to either, if you don't want to go through Azure Portal, all right? Like, I'm already trying to log into Azure Portal here. Yep, here. Where's my phone? Because it's going to do... we are going to... It's going to ask us to actually authenticate. Okay. Okay. So... All right. Yes, so I'm going to send a notification. Boops. And I get it on my phone. So I'm going to approve it. You can never be too careful. Facial recognition. Yes. Thank you very much. And we should be in it. Now, this takes me to the Azure portal. Now, Azure portal is, your portal into everything on the Azure cloud. However, all right, if you don't want to go through that whole hassle and just want to deal with we're doing IoT, so to deal with just your IoT specific stuff, then the tool you will need, so you see that we have the IoT Tuesday device update. Yeah, we don't need that. So we're looking for, there's an IoT Tuesday hub. So if I open this up, you would realize that we have actually registered I think this ESP32 here, and I've used connection information to set up the logic that will go onto the code we're going to send right now. So you see, some telemetry was sent. This was, when was this? Let's look at this. April 12. Yeah, today. Yeah, some telemetry. Well, we called it a couple of times. All right. So if you go to devices, on the left side, if you open devices, you should see, actually, let's zoom it in so that we can allow it to zoom in to see all the other stuff. So you see that we have the IoT ESP32, it's enabled SaaS. So you see cloud to device message count. So we've not sent any data from the cloud to this device yet. Yeah. Yeah. So we've seen it's registered here. So if you want to add multiple stuff, you will technically just go ahead and add, and then pretty much just click on add, and then you add a device here. So all the devices I have, I think it's split. Some of them are in different containers. But anyways, so we've added it. If you want to see how we did it, it's in the previous episode. Go check it out and subscribe. Okay. Now, if you open it up, all right, there are a couple of things we'll come to as part of what I was explaining, that we want to be able to read some of this telemetry. If you want to do inside the stream analytics, but we'll take it baby steps. I just want to send the data into the cloud and then do some kind of visualization, maybe with Power BI, or use some Power Apps, send the data to Power Apps, as it comes in, to see what's happening. So cool stuff. All right. So you can see message routing. So we'll talk about message routing later on, not necessarily on this series, but not the ESP32 series, but as we continue to do IoT on Azure, we'll come to look at that. And if you think you want me to do an extensive video, if you want me to do an extensive series on Azure IoT Hub, let me know. I can plan that out so we do a complete series. So if we open the IoT ESP32, as we've called it here, right, we can try to explore to see what data is being sent. So as you see, it's retrieving device information if it was up. So here, the connections, the primary connections are what I used, to get the data. All right. So here, if you want to send messages to it, if you want to do direct method invocation, let me show you this. For those who've been following my channel, I have done this I had a Raspberry Pi connected to a physical fan and a light, which I controlled from here, and I even created a Power Apps application to control it. This is the same way how I went about it. So if I have commands or logic on the board or the ESP32 that I want to invoke, I can do that from here, right? If I want to get the digital twin details for this device, because what Azure IoT does is it creates a digital twin of your devices, all right? And if you want to send message to the device to acknowledge it, I will do that from here, okay, based on a message template. But pretty much you realize that I had to open Azure Portal and go to IoT Hub and stuff like that. So if you don't want all the stress, the fastest and easiest way is to use a tool called the IoT Explorer. All right. So the Azure IoT Explorer, let me leave the link. Explorer. All right. So this tool you're seeing here is more or less like a shortcut into your resources in Azure. All right, let's see if we can we maximize this? No. So I can use Zoom. All right, so pretty much looks as simple as this. You have your home, I have an IoT hubs, I have my plug and play, and then notification center. I've not added any connection. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and add a connection for IoT hub, which I just showed you on Azure Portal, so that we can interact with the IoT hub from here rather than from the Azure Portal. All right, so let's go ahead, add connection. So it's going to ask me for a connection string. So I am going to move this off screen and then bring our IoT hub. As you can see, primary connection string. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'll paste that. All I've done is just paste that into, let's see. So I just pasted that into the connection string section. All right. So let's see. All right. So let's go to the home. Oh no, what did I do? IoT Tuesday. And let's go here to okay. Let's go to the shared access policies here. That's good. Everything looks okay. All right. Overview. Okay, just making sure. Okay. Okay, we've not had any configurations here. Let's see. Okay, that's fine. Where is that? Something. Okay, let's go ahead. So I'm going to let's go here. Let me just go. Yeah, it's going to be in my shared access policies and securities. Okay, so we are there. So it's here. Let's see. So let's go ahead and use the IoT hub owner, right? Because I want to use the high privilege access to get that, and this is going to pop up. You can see primary, secondary. It's going to pop up all these connection strings here. All right, using the IoT owner hub, because I need to use the policy owner, the higher level policy owner, to establish the, to get the connection string. So go here, copy this, and I'm going to paste it here. There you go. All right. So I'm going to, let me cut this out. Let me show you. So in the IoT Explorer, I'll paste it in this section. All right. But I'll take it off screen to do that. And then once that is done, if I save, now that I've saved it, now take a look at this. You see, it's brought my devices. So it's brought all the devices registered to this IoT hub. I have an Azure Percept, which you can probably see on my shelf. It's for AI stuff. We'll come back to, I'm supposed to, and sorry to the Azure Percept guys. Sorry, I promised you guys an article. I'm going to do a whole series on that. So please bear with me. And then I have an AI cam. It's also another one, the white cam you're seeing out there. And then I have the Raspberry Pi. And then this one is what you're seeing at the top here. So as you can see, we now see all our devices. So if you refresh, so now this gives me a straight view, okay, a straight view into IoT hub and the devices. So this is more narrowed down. I don't have to go through Azure Portal, IoT service, and all that. Right, cool. Sorry. So let's open this up. And when you open this, it gives you the device, and then this is what I wanted us to take a look at. You see this telemetry? If you open the telemetry, right? If we click on start, it's going to start consuming your rate, waiting for telemetry. All right. We are not using any specific queues, and I'll talk about queues later on. So because IoT Hub is more or less like a gateway into the cloud, you can set up queues and queries and ways to send specific telemetry to specific topics. And you can even connect it to Logic apps, other Azure services. So a scenario would be, let's say this temperature humidity sensor here is reading the temperature humidity in this room, right? And for some reason the temperature is so hot, right? I can decide to say that if I can create a topic for, you know, high temperature alert, so that if the temperature coming is within that range, it will probably either send me an SMS or, you know, trigger my air conditioner to come on, or connect to my home assistant to send a command to my air conditioner to turn on or something, or, you know, do something. But again, we can talk about that, you know, later on. So as of now, even if you played, if you started it, nothing is coming in yet. All right, so you see that it's going to be running here, nothing yet. So let's stop this. Now let's come back, send the telemetry from first of all, send the default telemetry from our the ESP32, and then we'll now add pieces of the code to get it. We didn't start early today. We started around 8:20 GMT. So permit us to go a little after 9 p.m. so that we can cover as much as we can. Yeah, we're still going to continue with the series, but then I want us to cover this as fast as we can. So let's bring this out and bring this down. So now let's go back to here, right? So first of all, I'm just going to go ahead and upload this onto our ESP32. So let's go ahead and do this. So again, I mean, just to show you that we've been able to connect this ESP32 to IoT Hub, that's what I'm doing this. And then once that is done, we'll just allow it to send telemetry, and then we'll go and look at it in the IoT Explorer. Then we'll start adding the pieces of code from our ESP32 and the DHT into this code base so that we can even just read the data. All right, so yeah, let's do this. Let me get this. There you go. So it's uploading. So for this particular board, I need to hit the reset to allow it to, you know, flash the new firmware onto it. So we're doing that. Okay, that's done. Now, let's go here. If we go ahead and tools, serial monitor. So now check this out. Okay, so it's what's happening. Clear this output. It's like anytime it's like anytime I need to show this and something happens. Oh my god. So what's this? I hate this. So well, it's being able to connect it's being able to connect to the how do you call it? It's being able to connect to the internet, to my Wi-Fi, but I just hate it. So this has to do with power. All right. It says if it's really most times not getting enough power from the board, it tends to do this. And this, I don't know why. This was working just fine before the show. This just okay. No, don't worry. Let's try this again. So I'm going to. I need to find a lasting solution to that. Okay. So as you can see, it technically, you know, deployed without any issues, right? So let's go ahead and serial monitor, start it again. But let's do this. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it off. Okay. So what I've done is just disconnect it, and let's see. Give it a while. Okay. Let me give it a reset. Okay. Let's open the serial monitor again. All right. Okay. Oh, this is not fun. Okay. For the sake, I'm going to do something. I'm going to take out the I'm going to take out the power. All right, so it doesn't draw any power. So this is connected to pin 4. Okay, just don't worry. For the sakes of, I'm just going to connect this on its own without the sensor. All right, just as a test, so we can get this running. So let's save this and let's try this again. Let's test it. Pretty much everything looks fine. I just want to be sure that I'm not messing around with anything. So there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Just making sure everything is fine. Incoming data. Yeah, pretty much it looks okay. Don't worry, that's why I always have I have another ESP here, so in case it decides. Yeah, so pretty much everything looks fine. So let's deploy it again. Okay. Let's see. Let me keep my finger here just to reset it. So it would show that red dot again to tell me it's ready to send. I'll just press the reset to allow it to reboot and load the firmware or the sketch, as we call it in Arduino lingo. All right, so there we go. I press this, I release it, and there we go. See, so loading it 12%, 15, 18, 21, 25. So it's loading the sketch onto it right now. Yep, and that's done. Right. So with that said, let's go to the serial monitor. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm going to test this again on a new one. Trust me, this just worked like before the show. But any which ways, let's disconnect it. This is it. So this is a brand new one. As you can see, this is the old one, and there's a new one. All right. So let me put this here for the meantime, and then let's connect this. Great. Okay. So now this is connected. It should also be on the same. It should be on the same port. If you want to check this out, let's do this. Device. Let's do device manager. Yeah, let's open device manager, and then we can check the COM port that is being activated for this. So let's close this. It should show us port 6. Let's bring this up here. So if we go to COM ports, yep. Okay, so this is not, you know what? Let's check for hardware changes. Intel active. No, it's not showing yet. So let's see. Let's connect it. Okay. Standard serial Bluetooth COM4 active. Interesting. All right. Let's see. Let me bring this one back. The gods of demo day. There's one interesting thing about live streams, because nothing is planned, so you get to see that I'm not a superhuman. Okay, there you go. So you see that this actually shows here on COM port 6 UART. So let's see. Let's try this again. So this is pretty much the same thing. Oh yeah. Okay. COM3, COM6. Okay, let's do this. Where's the other one that I have? All right, let's do this. I'm going to connect it back to the one on COM6, and let's try this for the last time. Okay. Let's wait for that to show. Let me be sure I have it set up so I can press it because it's a bit hard. Okay, ASP.Pi 2, press it and release it. Yeah, go 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 go. 100. There you go. Verified. Good. That's on it. That's on it. So choose. Oh man. Let's see. Let's clear this. Oh, I hate this. Okay, how about considering the fact that, well, that's the thing. So the thing is, if I don't connect to the serial monitor, I won't be able to if I don't connect to the cable, I won't be able to give you the reading. So let's see. Let me see if I can. Yeah. Yeah. A couple of things also, talk about the baud rate. So the last time I had this, a few stuff was okay. You know what? But that's a thing. Okay, let's see this. Let's close this. And let me file save as. Let me see where this is going to save this file. So IoT Tuesday. This is an IoT Tuesday. Let's open this up. So dev IoT Tuesday, Azure IoT Hub, ESP32. Okay, let's try this. Let's do something interesting. So I'm going to close this. All right. And then I'm going to try opening. I'm going to use a version then 2.0 of the new Arduino IDE. I want to try something. So so reading through this, couple of things could be that once you get that, part of it could be, they say, poor quality USB cable. We've been using this USB cable, so that is ruled out. The cable I don't think is that too long, because the last time this happened, I actually shortened it out. Okay, you know what, let's try this. Let's see something. Okay, so what I want to do now, let's see. It's just a standard. It's just a standard USB cable. All right. It's a bit. I had to extend it because of where the bench is and where my PC is. So what I want to do now is, let me see if I can connect it directly to my USB hub. And in most cases, they'll be like, connected directly to the computer instead of a USB hub, if the USB hub is not powered. So let's see. This could be powered with 5 volts, and that could give me extra volt into it. Do I have a 5 volt? I think I do. Yeah, I have a 5 volts 1 amps here. So if I decide to power, let me power it directly first. But to do that, I need to be careful before before I completely ruin. It's sitting on something. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this is part of. Yeah, this is it. I found it. Okay. Slowly, gently. Okay. So it's like we're having attenuation in our USB cable. So I'm gonna connect it directly. All right. Instead of, so let's do this. So put it here. the lights are still back. Let's see. No, it's going to interfere with the keyboard, so I'm going to keep it here. So now let's go back to device manager. And so let's go to device manager. So we check if it's still registered on COM port 6. All right. Well, look, it's there. COM port 6. It's right there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and see if we can, there you go, get rid of this. Let's open this. I'm going to try I'm going to run it here. So let's open this. This is in T dev IoT. I know it's a bad practice to be sharing your folder directory, but yep, this one here, and then this is it. So open this, and come on. Is this going to open a new? Okay, the cursor is still running. Yeah. Let's do this. I mean, if it's the cable, if it's a long cable, then that's animation. But that's the thing, I have anyway. Well, we'll see. Bad computer port, no, not enough power. Yeah, I'm still banking on the not enough power reason for it, because there's any time. So that's the thing, when you have already the Wi-Fi is consuming power, and then you're also now adding something extra to. If you look at the first logic we had, all right. So let's see this. Okay, so pretty much, so this is the logic. So yeah, I'm going to try to upload it again. So let's do this. Oh, my bad. Terrible. So let's go ahead. It's a COM port 6. There you go. So we selected COM port 6. It is an ESP32. Let's ESP. So you see, it's an ESP32. Is it Rover? Yeah, I think so. But there is just a sec, I'm coming. Which one was this? Let's be sure. So yeah, it could be the, I think it could be is the ESP32. Yeah, it's not a so it's a dev kit. It's not a module. That's why I want to be specific on it. Where is that? Yes, not FM, not a dev module. Module ESP. It's oh, sorry. Let's bring this here. Yeah, it's a Node MCU ESP32. So where is that? No, not this one. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, this is it. It's a Node MCU 32. I think it's 32S. Yes, ESP32S. Yeah, so it's written behind it. All right. So there you go. This is it. Let's see all the ports. Okay. So COM port 6. There you go. This should be fine. So let's go upload. And the good thing is that you can, here you can actually debug. I mean, you can even debug in the old one, but that's the cool thing I like about the new one, debugging. So in this case as well, let's see. Let's run this. So there you go. I'm waiting for the output. So the only visual thing I see here, that differs a bit from the experience from the old one is the fact that for the new one, for the old one, I get to see some kind of a progress. All right. In this one, I don't see the progress.